I know you keep coming on here and you keep hearing the same message about how you can do it and how great you are. Then keep coming back. And if you just happen to miss the live, then replay it back, because there's truth and the power of your tongue and what you say. I know you worked hard today. I know you put in more than 8 hours. I know you have given your family all that you can give them. You've given your significant other all that you can give them. You have given your children what you got left. And in the end, you feel that nobody hears you or sees you. But I hear you. I see you. And I can tell you that this is one of those moments where not only are you in your greatest strength, you're in your greatest moment because you're here. You stayed for one more day so somebody can hear your laugh, hear your voice, see your smile, and feel your presence. But if you're one of them people where it's getting real hard, it's getting real challenging for you to just keep coming back, then reach out and get help at 988. Make a decision that not only can you live with, but those people who care about you can live with as well. 3 simple numbers, 988. So before you make a decision that we have to live with, make the ultimate decision for you to live with and stay, because tomorrow needs you. Now let's talk football. Nation, what up, Dolan? Welcome back to another Lukegsfieldreview Field Review, where we talk all things Detroit Lions. Good people, I am happy to have you here. Oh my God, let me just tell you, to all my new fathers out there, shout out to you. I know that one of those new dads are JGB, who just had a new baby, so congratulations to you and your wife and the family for that new addition. But to all of you who know the life of new parenthood, to all of you who understands the reset button after you had some fun, I want you to know that I feel you. And it's going to be okay, because they're going to grow up and terrorize your house the same way the other ones are. But people, I'm here. And I'm going to try to make sure I can get this thing as consistent as possible. It does suck with my schedule. Me taking kids to school, picking them up, doing that cool stuff. Just a plethora of things. And also trying to find a way to get my own freedom so I can do what I really want to do. All right, people, we got a lot to cover, and I want to make sure I hit on it. So let me see who's in the building with me. It says more people need this these days. Man, listen. Shout out to my man Everything King. Yes, we do. I'm all about that positivity, my baby. I'm trying to make sure, as a person who lost a friend to suicide, it has become a full-out mission for me. So, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I knew the signs. Maybe I didn't know the signs, but it became something where it turned into a passion. So, no video's going to get started without that message, man. I need people to stay. Let's see who else in the building with me. We got my man Lyons, the bad guy, by my man Jon Kapler in the building. We got Giovanni Lyons in the building. We got Detroit.Sports. What's going on, brother? I hope you and the family is doing well, my brother. We got Looney Tune in the building. Lions Lee in the building. It's one of the hardest working men out there. Lions Lee, I got to hit you up too, because I need some more help with some other stuff. We'll talk about it later. Makai Holt is in the building. Easy Does It is in the building. William Birch is in the building. Detroit Made Me is in the building. We got my man James Willis in the building. Perry Ball is in the building. You say, that new baby life, huh? he say, yeah. That reset button is strong. Trust and believe, boy. I was just getting into that sleep schedule. Boy, I tell you. 100%. We got Crimson Shadow in the building. Ghost Gunner's in the building. Sean J's in the building. And Juan W's in the building. What up, people? I'm going to be getting into a lot of stuff, including a lot of false narratives. So, listen, I'm going to give you the heads up right now. Disclaimer. I have witnessed some BS from our own personal media, and it makes me want to puke. I don't understand why we do this, but we do. It makes no sense. We got Motor City Do Crew in the building. What up, though? And then we got my man Gino in the building. All right, listen. The Lions have cut their roster down to the 53. You have heard this to nauseam. You have had many of your favorite YouTubers, media outlets, people talk about this. You know, here it's about you. I bring you into the show so we can talk about your thoughts on it. I have some thoughts on it. I have a few other things that don't tick me off. It's on my Instagram. I'm going to attempt to get that to show here because that was some bull, right? And then on top of that, we're going to be talking about some of the surprises when it comes to the practice squad, because I've noticed that the practice squad looks very much intriguing. And one of the things that stood out to me about the practice squad. Then on top of that, I need to address, how I'm going to do certain things, because we're going to be doing the Pick'em League again, and I'm going to fire that up hopefully tomorrow. I'm setting it up tonight and have it fired up for tomorrow, all right? Because I want to make sure that we do the Pick'em League. I haven't won since I started this thing, and it's absolutely amazing to me how people are just picking these games. I'm never going to call it dumb luck because y'all keep getting it right and I keep getting it wrong. So clearly, you know something I don't, and that's all right. All right. So let me get off the back. First things first, man. I am okay with every move that they have made as it pertains to the 53-man roster. Every move, I'm okay with it. With the exception of one player. I thought that Isaac Anouk, I hope I said his name right. Y'all know I suck at it. I thought he should have made the team. I did. And I thought that on top of him should have made the team. I felt that, he would have been a good complimentary guy to go along with, the rest of the other guys that's going to be out there. Now, with that being said, you may argue, well, Luke, who did you want them to move on from? Well, this is going to be crazy, but we didn't need Strickland. The safety, we didn't need him. And I didn't feel like if we didn't have him, we were going to be shorthanded some kind of way. I felt that we had more than enough with Khalil Dorsey, being one of the cornerbacks, Carlton Davis being another one, Enos, you got Terrion, like you got people, but with just Brian Branch, Joseph Iffy, and Joseph, with Brian Branch, Joseph Iffy, and Brandon Joseph, I felt that we had enough. I felt like that spot that they took up for Strickland, like we'd have been all right. We'd have been good. We would not have been hurting had we not capped him. And I wanted to keep a nook. I thought he earned his spot. I thought he performed well. I thought that he showed flashes of a skill set that we need bad, because I asked this question before. When it comes down to it, you got Batman. Aiden Hutchinson is Batman. Who in the hell is his Robin? I mean, seriously, if you go through and you look at tandems, somebody got somebody to rock with him. The Joker had Harley Quinn. Iron Man had War Machine. Black Panther had White Tiger. Who is his sidekick? Who's the running mate with him? And I didn't see enough from Bats to warrant keeping him. I'm surprised he didn't make the practice squad, seeing how he, did his thing in the CFL, but I didn't see enough to warrant keeping him. But Strickland, I didn't see anything that said keep him, not whether it be special teams or not. It's like they did it because they thought somebody else was going to get him. And if they were, I feel like so be it. Let them get him. Who cares? Like, It is what it is. If they get him, they get him. I did not like that move. I tried to overlook it. I tried to act like it wasn't going to bother me, and it did. It absolutely bothered me. When you look at the people who are on IR, I'm going to say something that people's not going to like. They're not going to agree with it. I did not like it when we traded up for Broderick Martin. I still don't like it. I do not believe he's hurt to the point to be on IR. I don't buy that. I believe that his development is about as slow as a turtle in the middle of a desert. He got nowhere to go and a whole lot of goddamn heat on his ass to be somewhere. And I feel like that was a waste of energy at that point. But he here. It is what it is. It is what it is. Some of the names that I was happy that they did add to the practice squad that I thought were necessary to be added to the practice squad were the receivers. I love that they added Allen Robinson. I love that they added Tim Patrick, who they said once they learn the system, they getting called up. Right? I love that. Shout out to you, Joe Lewis. Right? Like, I love that. I love that they kept those people. Bring those people back. But I want those receivers. Why? Because I've already seen Khalif go down with injuries in both the times he's been here, right? I told people losing Josh Reynolds was going to be more of a detrimental hurt than people thought. They just thought, oh, well, he dropped the ball in a crucial point of the game and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's going to hurt y'all because he was another reliable option for them. Jared Goff really liked him. And now, and everybody was hyping up Donovan Peoples-Jones when I kept saying, like, hey, he ain't there. But I'm okay with them bringing him back as a practice squad guy and giving him a chance to grow. I'm okay with Allen Robinson. I'm okay with Tim Patrick. I'm okay with those type of things. I'm okay with them bringing Isaac back as a practice squad guy. But I don't get the Strickland. Because I'm going to be upset if somebody signed Isaac. I don't get it. We didn't need him. And it stood out to me. Another thing that stood out to me was how bad the reserve receivers were. I watched all three of them games. I went to the last one, right? Went to the last one, watched those games, came home and watched it again. And I walked out and was like, can somebody please just get open? I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you can hang around Amon-Ra St. Brown and all them other route running people and not know how to run a crisp route. But damn it, we needed something. Get open. But I like the fact that they were willing to address it and say, you know what, we need to have some people ready to rock and roll for the receiving area. And I'm happy that they chose to do that. Now, Reader is a stud. He got plenty left. This is another thing that's been killing me. Our infatuation with taking risk on hurt players and praying to God that they are come back healthy for us is driving me up shit's creek. It's killing me softly. Like, I'm trying so hard not to let it do this, but it's impossible not to let it do this. It just drives me crazy. We kept Tom. We tapped Tom Kennedy. Don't know why. This dude ain't never broke outside of the practice squad. Don't know why we keeping him. We kept Jake Fromm. Good job. I've been telling people that Nate Sudfeld ain't it for the longest. You know, and people had to see it. And this brings me to my next point: how our media decided to go after Hendon Hooker. All because we paid Jared Goff. And the fan base who followed suit on it, making it seem like Hendon Hooker was used goods and hot garbage and trash and a backup at best. And it's going to be somebody in here who's going to still challenge me on it and still tell me that, hey, he still is a backup at best. No, he's not. No, he's not. There was things he did in that game that I'm telling you that it's a veteran mentality to know how to escape the pocket when all around you falls apart. And I felt like, you know, Nate Sudfeld was a scapegoat for people to feel better about a pick that many people didn't understand if you were just going to keep the quarterback. And it is what it is. The Kyle Pico, I know the story. I know what's going on with him. I don't know why we brought him back to the practice squad. I don't know why he had a roster spot. I don't. And if he's the only one we get for nose tackle, find somebody else. Or better yet, how about that guy you invested in and Broderick Martin actually step up? Just saying. Just saying. He said, Can we let them snap the ball before we start complaining? Damn, go Lions. We're not complaining. We're evaluating. This is an analysis of our practice squad and roster moves. That's what we do. You know how when we get all hype when every player come here, they're great. I remember I was telling people like Cam Sutton is not finna move the needle for nothing. He was a slot corner at best, and nobody listened until he started getting torched. I'm just telling you, this is an analysis. You got to be able to look at the talent and say, you know what? Was this the right move? So I'm not complaining. I'm just merely making the observation. I am going to tell you this. I'm complaining about our media and our fans' reaction to a lot of this stuff. Because guess what? At the end of the day, I saw way too much negative news for Hendon Hooker. Way too much. And I saw a person who looked like he did not belong out there with 2s and 3s. And I can only imagine what he would have looked like with the 1s. With our offensive line, our rushing attack, and these same receivers, his escapability and his arm strength, I can only imagine. But our quarterback is, you know what I'm saying, Jared Goff. And so you have to root for Jared Goff. And I will be rooting for Jared Goff because I expect us to win. I expect us to do big things. So I get it. But again, when you're looking at this 53-man roster, right, you're taking a good hard look at it. I don't understand why we kept Strickland. I went back and watched 2 games and trying to see if he stood out to me, and I think I only seen him in the Steelers game, and I honestly didn't even realize he was in that game until he made a tackle. I didn't see it. I just did not see it. Like seriously, we could have used another pass rusher because right now you have James Houston, right, and you got Josh Pascal. And if you're telling me that Marcus Davenport is who you're relying on, I'm telling you, grab a Snickers. It's going to be a while. Because he has not done anything to suggest or warrant any belief from any fan that he was worthy of being added to this team, let alone starting. You'd have been better served starting Levi Onwuzurike over Marcus Davenport. You'd have been better served starting James Houston over Marcus Davenport. You'd have been better served starting Josh Pascal over Marcus Davenport. I don't believe for one moment that Marcus Davenport get more than 4 sacks. And for somebody coming here to start talking to me about pressures, please don't do it until you can show me the matrix that show that pressures are only lined up with negative plays. I don't want to hear about them. Shout out to you from Florida. I'm supposed to be, you know what? I got a homeboy in Florida supposed to be coming up here for the Jacksonville Jaguars game because he a Jaguars fan. So, hey, what can I say? Easy does it. What up, though? I'm excited about Hendon. He just needs times, rep, and experience, in my opinion. People don't realize this. This man came back and did a lot of good stuff after not playing football for almost 2 years. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. Even the interception that he threw in that last game, I felt that it was on the receiver's hands. Could it have been slightly off? Maybe. But from the all-22, I feel like the receiver should catch that. That's just my view. I'm glad they kept From. It's worth keeping him and seeing what else he can do. Absolutely. Detroit D, what up, though? Let me also get this in the chat too. I'm gonna put the link in so we can get people in there because I want to also hear your opinion about the 53-man roster. What do you feel about it? Are you happy about it? Do you feel good about what you see? Does it stand out to you? I want to know. Right? Like, tell me something good. So join the conversation. All right. But again, when I looked at this roster, there wasn't a move that I can be like, oh yeah, that's bad. Outside of maybe not keeping Isaac. Outside of that, I really thought we should have kept him. Another thing that stood out to me about this, I had this right here. Let me go back up here to the offensive side of the ball, right? I need y'all help on this one, okay? I need y'all help on this one. If these are our legitimate backups, Dan Skipper, Cody, I'm not even play with these names. Michael needs. I'm not gonna play with this damn name, right? If these are legitimately our backups, I need y'all all to collectively, whether you believe in God or not, please join me in prayer. Because we need to make sure that not now one of them have to get in with this group. We need for them to be healthy through the whole season. If they miss anything, a few minutes, because they needed to breathe. I was not impressed with our backup offensive line. And when all these false narratives came out talking about Hendon Hooker, I'm thinking, are we watching the same fucking football game? I'm just saying. I think Goff can only have I think they're gonna let him play for like 2, maybe 3 seasons total, and they're gonna move it over to Hooker and move in the parent person. But yeah, I think that's the way it's gonna be. All right. Fromm is better than Sudfeld. Tell me something I don't know. I'm really high on Vaki. I'm not there yet. I think he did some good things, but I'm not there yet. And I think my reason for not being there yet is because I needed a bigger sample size. I love his one cut ability and everything like that. But I'm not there yet. My first guest is in the building, Detroit Rage. What up, though?
What's going on, y'all?
What's
How's it
going on,
going, Luke?
man? It's been a while, man. How are you been?
I've I've been worse, but I'm good now. I've actually been doing a lot of, soul searching, you know what I mean? A lot of self growth, you know what I mean?
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm listening, man.
it
If
is
you
a
can't
good thing.
evaluate yourself, then how somebody else going to evaluate you?
Exactly. So,
Talk,
it's
talk
just
to
been
me. Talk to me about the Lions' 53-man roster and what's going on with the Lions. That you like. Tell me what you like and don't like so far. We haven't
all
took a
right,
snap yet, but what do you like about the
right,
roster
right.
so far and don't like?
All right, so what I found was man, we really had a lot of talent in the running back position that we weren't going to be able to sign. That was disappointing to me because that there was some talent there, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? It's a good problem to have. You know what I mean? When we used to have people like Theo Riddick, and we were excited about
Oh
having
yeah,
them. You
oh yeah.
know, it's a huge change. So being a seasoned fan, I find it very refreshing to have issues like that. The one thing I do agree with you is our pass rushing. Um, for some reason, I remember a point in time when James Houston was doubted as being equally as a force, if not better, than Hutchinson. And now we're hearing that he's having a hard time trying to keep a roster spot, and luckily he made it. But it's a thing where we need to see production uh, from these diamonds in the rough. We're coming across an issue where he's becoming a James Hyder. You know what I mean? Or what was his name? Kerry Hyder. What was the guy's name?
Kyrie Hyder,
Yeah,
or something like that, or Kerry
something
Hyder,
like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how little of an impact he made. He was good for one season. After that, done. Tired of hearing these kind of players surfacing in Detroit. It seems to be kind of like the trend that is always happening to us. Just like you said, also we have this terrible ability to sign players and hope that they're gonna turn out okay when they heal. And historically speaking, that's never worked out well for us. So I just, I hate being a pessimistic, especially now that, our franchise is turning around. Everything's looking good, and it's hard to find reasons to look at it in a negative light. But as of right now, I see us having the exact same record that we did last year. I predicted that record. I've been predicting them
Okay.
almost spot on every year. And I honestly see us going back to the NFC championship game. Anything less to me would be failure. That's just how I see it.
But that's a good thing to have. I believe that it's a good thing to have a high expectation when
Yeah,
you've already seen that they can do it. So like if it would be weird for me to see like Shaquille O'Neal box somebody out and then him tell me he can't do it. But I've seen you do
right.
it. I've seen you do it. I expect you
Yeah,
to do it again.
yeah. So when I hear these pros talk, and they're predicting Green Bay to have a better season than us, or some of them
Oh man, listen,
people even get as crazy as thinking that the Bears are just gonna all of a sudden come out from the basement just smelling like roses.
the
It's
Bears
just,
is our biggest threat, though. I really do believe that.
be that as it may, right? I believe that we made the adjustments enough in our secondary to kind of nullify any kind of option. And all we really need to do is focus on the run.
Yeah, and again, it's one of them things where, like I said, for me, I can't get mad at the roster because most of the people on the roster we drafted, right?
Yeah.
I forgot what we were. Were we like the fifth or the third youngest team in the NFL or something like that? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
Listen,
that.
this team is built for longevity. That's something that we haven't had. We've always picked up on somebody else's leftovers and paid them a decent amount of money for substandard work. And it's just been rough for the Lions in the past. Like, we had this conversation before about when Ndamukong Suh left. There was just a huge void, and they tried to literally fill it with who was it that, that they tried to get in there? A Lodi Nada, a whole lot of nothing. That's what I said to you. A whole lot of a whole not of nothing.
Oh my God. Don't do him like that. He fought for us somewhat. At least I want to believe he did.
Somewhat. Come on, man. I honestly, I've seen a lot more fight in some of these guys in the preseason than I did from Haloti Nada. I've seen them give up a lot, and we actually even talked about it, on the show where none of the push was there. There was no blocking. I mean, no run stopping, and so yeah, like he never really posed himself as a threat to even get any sacks whatsoever, let alone stop the run hardly. You know what I mean? Like we were holier than Swiss cheese then. You know what I mean?
It's one of the reasons why I have been posting a lot of community posters showing our old players to the new players and where we had success in those players, but not the right team around them. And so
right.
I show these comparisons to see, like, hey, did you know that these stats were like this? Did you know that? And I'm amazed at the number of people who was like, yo, I didn't realize it was this close. I did a Lean McNeil and I compared him directly to Sean Rogers because that was my comparison that I had for him. And I was like, look at the numbers. They're very similar. Sean Rogers obviously has like 1.5 more sacks, but sack totals is there. The solo tackles were higher for Sean Rogers, obviously. But, similar playing style, right? In my opinion. So,
well, where I would say where Rogers was highlighted was the fact that the talent around him, was less. So his skill set was actually highlighting more, and that's why everybody would speak on Rogers more than Aleem McNeil now. You know what I mean? Like McNeil, you hear it you see it on paper. Yeah, he's doing great. But how often do you see or hear like Aleem McNeil like really, really, paraded? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like we're the ones that have to really point him out.
It said that they're not parading because I thought he was our best D lineman all last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know people are gonna say, "Oh, even over Aiden Hutchinson." Yeah, he caused so much havoc just up the middle, and nobody understands how crazy it is to cause that much havoc up the middle versus from the outside. But when it's up the middle, it changes everything.
It changes the whole dynamic of the game.
Everything. And this is why people like Warren Sapp and Aaron Donald were so scary good.
Yes.
And you're committing 2 and 3 people to them because it's like, bruh, they are causing too many problems up the middle. We can't even see the play because they're coming in their face immediately. So
yeah,
all of that is going down. And again, it's one of the things where, like I said, I just wanted to put it out there for the people, talk about it, get it in there, and get it done. I do got to switch gears a little bit, but I want to shout out my man Lance Malone, who says to follow me. He says, Niners fan here, I think Detroit has a real chance. Shout out to you, sir. Appreciate that. Appreciate you coming up in here checking us out. I think it's a fair thing. Wait till you see this video from the play. I also see we got a guy in the back, Crimson, but it says your device is not connected. I have no clue what that means. No clue. But if you want to, feel free to join the conversation. The link is in the description. So all you got to do is join. You just need a microphone. You don't even got to turn your camera on. That is your choice. But just come jump in and have a conversation with me, even if you're not a Lions fan. Let's talk ball. Lester White says, "Isn't it great that the only real personnel argument are about the backup 53-man?" I know that's
I call that gold plated problems.
Yeah, listen, I'm not mad at all about it. I like the idea of it, and it is what it is. Got off work at the perfect time, and no, what up, though, bro? Hey, first of all, hey, shout out to you, my good brother. If y'all don't know, out here serving our beautiful country, and is still finding time to tune in as he travels the world. Shout out to you, good sir. Appreciate you. Dark Twerk said, I thought Nagata did well for us for what he was at the time, and that's the problem. You see, when you go and get like the Walmart brand vanilla ice cream, and then you go get like a Bluebell or Blue Bunny vanilla ice cream, you taste the difference. And so we never had a chance to taste the difference, right? You know how you go in a grocery store and then it's like there's the Fruit Loops, but then there's the store-bought brand that's like the Fruity
It's a big difference between Malto Meal and Captain Crunch.
Yeah, they don't taste the same. So that's what it is. Shout out to you, Kobe. What up, though? And one funky Lion fan is in the building says, "What's good, Luke? I'm going to have to watch this later, but yeah, we live in the first world problems now." Yeah, it is what it is. All right, so listen, I do want to get into this video. So just hold tight. So you can stay right here, and I'm gonna bring Crimson in too. Crimson, I see you over there getting your chef on. Take your time, brother. All right. This video dropped literally, I think, today. I have posted on Instagram at least two parts of this. Let me just get it into you.
HQ, we are 4 wide. Chris Hassel,
I gotta skip. So they got this guy here, Pete, whatever. I gotta get right to the part that I need to talk about because Pete was tripping. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find
HQ, we are 4 wide. Chris.
Oh, wait, hold on. Gotta make this thing full. Boom. All right, people. Pete was tripping. This is how Pete got the AFC playoffs going. This is his early prediction. I want to preface this whole conversation by saying the following, okay? Every person is entitled to their opinion, and I respect their opinion. I respect their entitlement to that opinion, but I am also entitled to an opinion of your opinion, and I hope you respect mine. So at the end of the day, I want y'all to take a good look at this because this is what he believes is going to happen in the AFC. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because what he's going to show and what he believes is going to happen in the NFC had me asking, who in the hell is Pete Prisco? Who is this guy? Like, who is it? So he essentially got Kansas City at the number 1 team, Buffalo at the number 2 team, okay? And the AFC. He got the number 3 team at the Bengals, the number 4 team to the Texans.
Okay.
And if you're not following along, he's got the Texans he got the Texans losing to the Ravens in the wild card and going on to face the Bills who defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's got the Jets beating the Bengals, going on to face the only team that have a bye in Kansas City. Now watch this stuff right here, just for kicks.
So then I have the Ravens playing the Bills, with the Bills winning that. I have the Jets going on the road and
okay. Now, he has the Jets beating Kansas City and making it to the AFC Championship game to take on the Buffalo Bills, who beat the Baltimore Ravens. Now, all of this It's just what
Hey,
I'm saying.
put me the last one in the freezer.
So he got the Buffalo Bills in there. Now we're going to fast forward to his view of the NFC.
In the NFC.
There's no doubt, Pete, that it's an arms race in the NFC.
Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, I go back a
and
little
when
bit.
I look at the Falcons, I know everybody's on Kirk
I
Cousins
go back just
and
a
they
little bit.
don't
All right.
anymore.
Come
So
on,
I'm picking Tampa.
right
No
there.
doubt, Pete, that it's an arms race in
Nice mix of veterans.
Come on now, give me the skip it over. We got to keep going now.
on the San
Road.
Is that right?
All right, here we go.
Am I
Boom.
seeing that right?
Pay close attention to this, people, because I need somebody to tell me who in the hell is Pete Prisco. I don't know who he is. I just want somebody to tell me who he is. I did a little research. I heard he was a Jacksonville Jaguars beat writer at some point. I heard he covered the NFL for over like 3 decades. Okay? Totally get it. But by his guesstimation, the Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl. But what I want you to pay attention to is the Detroit Lions, who he has as 5th, and the Green Bay Packers, who he has as 2, which means Green Bay won the division, and Detroit got in as a consolation wild card.
Right.
Now, if you're not paying attention, this will go over your head because I basically missed it my damn self.
Are you saying that the Cowboys won the division?
He's saying that not only are the Cowboys going to win the division, they're going to beat the Eagles to take on the Packers, who beats the Rams. But then he says the Lions are going to lose to the Bucks.
The Bucks, yeah.
Who's going to go on to face the only team, okay, with a bye week in the 49ers. I'll let him now explain what the hell is going on because I can't make sense of this. And again, it's a way too early prediction in my opinion, but this is this. What do you do with this kind of stuff? let us commence with this one. Let's go.
Cisco, the 49ers will.
Now I want you to pay close attention to this because this gets even more intriguing. He now has the Bucks losing to the number 1 seed San Francisco and Dallas losing to the number 2 seed Green Bay in a game in which Green Bay and San Francisco play each other, and Green Bay and Buffalo are going to the Super Bowl, according to Pete Prisco. Anybody, I know I got some Packers fans in here. Please tell me what the hell the Packers done to, 1, warrant them to be better than the Lions, and 2, warrant them to be better than the damn Lions. Seriously. What have they done? They haven't done anything to be better than the 49ers, let alone beat them to the Super Bowl. This is the media doing stuff. Now, to be fair, he's going to try to explain it, and it took a former Bear to correct him. Let us listen.
Win that game. Green Bay will beat the Cowboys, and then Green Bay, who probably should have won at San Francisco last year, will go in and beat San Francisco as the 1 seed and go to the Super Bowl.
I disagree with you here on the NFC East pick that you made. You had the Dallas Cowboys finishing ahead of the Eagles. I think the Eagles are loaded. They're ready to reinvent themselves and show the world why they are still a threat in the class of the NFC East.
I worry about collapse. Teams that collapse, sometimes you have a problem with that. There's a disconnect, and I know their pass rush is an issue now. You know, got to get a bunch of young guys to go in there and do some things, and that's a concern. I think Green Bay doesn't get the credit it deserves, in large part because I don't think Matt LaFleur gets the credit he deserves, and Jordan Love is ready to go to the next level. The receivers, every single one of them, they didn't play together last year. They're all kids. They're going to be even that much better. And you talk about an offensive line. I think they've improved up front. I think they're bigger. They drafted the Morgan kid. Now, whether he starts at guard remains to be seen, but I think
he can play anywhere.
Right. They're good up front. They're going
to Woo. Okay. So he says he believes that the receiving core of the Packers got better. All right. Because they didn't play together. Well, our receiving core did play together. And our offensive coordinator seems to be better than the coordinator of the Packers. And yes, their offensive line has made some improvements, but so has ours. And we have 2 running backs, not 1. They have 1 running back. Okay? Our tight end's better. Like, I'm trying to figure out, where did this happen at? Where did this all come from, Pete? Pete, what the hell we talking about here? Right? Now, as Pete's talking himself into this goddamn circle, right? Pete is going to further explain why the Packers are going to win the division, aka the NFC North, and why the Lions are not. Just listen to this football analysis.
To be good on defense because Jeff Hafley's in there taking over as the defensive coordinator. I love the Packers.
I have one burning question about the Green Bay Packers. Will this young receiving core be able to continue to progress in their skill set? I know that they're young guys, and that was the talk of the town last year, and they're only going to get better and older. Are they going to continue to get better this year?
Yeah, Pete, we ranked the top wide receiver trios in the league, and I think Pete had the Packers second or third.
I love that group. I love that group. When you see
now he got him second. Let me go back just a smidge. Just a smidge. Here, let's see, right here. All right, here we go.
And Baker Mayfield plays with a chip on his shoulder, so I think they win that division. But I think the Green Bay Packers are the team to beat in the NFC North.
There's no doubt, Pete, that it's an arms race in the NFC North. You talked about the AFC East just previously. They're going to beat up on each other, war of attrition style. That's what the NFC North's going to be. Which roster do I trust most in a siege-style warfare theater? It's going to be the Detroit.Sports.Alliance with Dan Campbell. I think that they're going to be able to run the football effectively. They've got studs on their offensive line, guys that are akin to players like Trent Williams. When you think about Frank Ragnow, you think about Penei Sewell. Hopefully they can stay healthy. That's the strength of the team. I think that's why they're going to beat the Packers. That will win. The Lions will win the NFC North, but I think we could see 3 teams in the playoffs from the NFC North.
You know what it'll come down to? It'll be in a big game against Green Bay. It'll be 4th down late in the game, and all he needs is a field goal to tie the game, and Dan Campbell will decide to go for it, and it'll cost his team, much like he did last year in the game.
17 points in the Bay Area. They had the lead on the San Francisco 49ers.
But he had a chance to kick a tying field goal, and he didn't do it.
Watch.
Packers could have field goal.
Everybody got better. Lions didn't get better, right? This is what he's telling us. Lions didn't get better. Everybody got better, but the Lions. Who in the hell is Pete Prisco? Somebody, please tell me. Tell me something. Let me bring in Crimson. Maybe Crimson can tell me who this dude is. Crimson, help me, help me. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me do this the right way. Let me do this the right way, because after this man got done talking, this is exactly what I thought.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.
The fuck is he talking about? I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be that guy. But what is he talking about, Crimson?
I have no goddamn idea. The fact that he brought up some old laundry and the fact that, we didn't kick the field goal. We didn't get better. The fuck's he talking about we didn't get better? We've got a revamped secondary and a kicker that can literally basically make Justin Tucker blush. That's talking about we didn't get better. Get out of here with this crap.
I don't. He got the Packers beating everybody. How?
Look, you know what he reminded me of?
What's
seriously, he reminded me of the old guy that works with me. You know what I mean? That used to be a Lions fan, but ain't a Lions fan no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one that's
like, who your favorite team? He say, unfortunately, the Lions. That guy.
I'm talking about the one that will always say something negative about the Lions, and the only reason he did it is because every Thanksgiving he likes to bet on them and he loses. You know,
it just blows my mind, man.
He's that guy. I bet you he lost the bet. He thought he was gonna win it, and now he's just hella salty, and he's just rather just shit all over the Lions right now, man.
I mean, it was
that's
so
what that
ridiculous.
Sounds like. It is ridiculous, man. It is ridiculous because I literally laughed at the fact that he was so kind of it wasn't even far-fetched, right? Because he was accurate about what he said, right? Yes, but you were being petty, dude. Like, you literally were pointing out facts of maybe you probably, like I said, lost a bet to a friend, and now you just want to shit on the team, you know, on TV, and you had to be corrected by a fucking former Bear or whatever, you know, and in order to sound somewhat legitimate, because sometimes people take their own losses, their own emotions too in the hand, and they'll really say some wild stuff, man. You know.
But I can understand if he gave a football analysis. He didn't give.
That's what I said. It was emotional. It was emotional.
Emotion.
That was an emotional analysis, bro.
Emotions. It had nothing to do with football. It was just the emotional stuff that he wanted to talk about. Where was the football analysis?
Now, if you know,
like honestly,
sorry.
Yeah, that sounded like he lost $1,000, man.
Oh, easily.
Go ahead, Cranston.
Speaker health, I could see that. If he knew what he was talking about, yeah, I could see that. Maybe we gimp our way into the postseason with, all our edges hurt. Or maybe, our secondaries hurt again, something like that. I could see that because, Brad Holmes has a history of drafting injured players and bringing in injured guys. He didn't bring that up.
But that's what I'm saying. He didn't talk about that. He didn't say, he never said, oh, I'm talking about this. No. What he said was, and quote, was a bunch of emotional BS for no other reason. And the only reason I bring it up now is because I genuinely was confused as to what he was talking about. And where did he come up with this? And why did he come up with this? And what was the reason for this view that has no information to support it? To show you how crazy it is, okay? Let me just show you how crazy this is. There are people who genuinely want to talk, like about football, and they give reason. Let's look at some of those people, okay? This right here is on NFL.com. Give credit where credit is due. But this is what the voting looked like for who's winning the NFC North. Detroit, 20 votes. Green Bay, 7 votes. Chicago, 1 vote. You notice you don't see the Vikings because some things ain't worth mentioning. Okay?
Right.
All right. But for all these people up here are saying, Detroit's winning the division. And only 7 believe that the Packers are going to do it. Where did you come from with this? They got better. We got where did you come from? And so to me, it blew my mind at how he had this going. Like, essentially, he had the Lions barely getting into the playoffs. I mean, the 5th seed is not barely, obviously, but they barely getting in.
Yeah, they got us going in as a wild card when last year we literally just reigned supreme in the division. That is
right.
That is a wild jump. You're not only saying that we're just gonna lose one game. You're actually essentially saying that we're gonna possibly go 500. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's not coming from a place. It's not coming from a place of football analysis. It's like who hurt you? And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they did this to you because you didn't deserve to be hurt like this.
Right.
This ain't how you address it. This ain't it. This ain't how you show your frustrations. There's a lot of ways you can do it. This just ain't it.
I mean, everyone keeps telling me, like, Green Bay fans keep saying, oh, we're going to be so much better because we fired our defensive coordinator. They keep throwing that guy under the bus, saying that's the reason why they didn't move any further in the postseason.
That's such cap.
It is.
You already had one.
And again, I'm trying to be objective here, people. I'm taking the emotional stuff out of it and being objective. When I say that my biggest fear is the Bears, I mean that. I mean that. Because the one thing I can tell you is when it comes to the Bears, guess what? The Bears have already shown me with a Justin Fields that we have a hard time stopping mobile quarterbacks. And I've watched Caleb Williams, even though it's preseason, it looked like he was not missing a beat. Unbothered by the pressure and moving around. And that is going to be a serious problem, in my opinion, for us. It really is.
I need you to understand, Luke, this guy's coming in right now. The only time that he's seen a professional type speed environment on the defense has been a very limited amount. Once the real season whistle hits and he sees starters out there full time, it's gonna be a whole different ball game. And honestly, man, like every single rookie quarterback that's come in, I mean, aside from like think Cool Joe, you know, I don't see any of them really hitting hard like that, bro. Like he still got so much to prove, dog. And to be honest with you, just thinking that team completely rebuilding, and then you got this kid being an absolute rookie coming in and taking on the champs, and you know, no, I just told Aiden, no.
Things,
you guys already had snaps.
That when you look at the analysis that he's given as he's pointing these things out, that makes you go, okay, give me some more substance. Your whole argument is Dan Campbell's going to make a call instead of going for the tie. You're right. It does sound like a
you're
guy
just making fun of a bad call. You're just making fun of a unfortunate event that happened to us, and you're defining our future on that. Like honestly, that doesn't only just take a lack of intelligence. That is like purposefully showing everybody how ignorant you are. You know what I mean? Because you're basically basing that on like, if that came again, you think that this coach would make that same. You got Jake Bates,
right?
And
they underrate Matt LaFleur. But they got him pegged right. Dan Campbell's pegged right. Like, he didn't learn no. Lessons.
Like honestly, like that just goes to show that was more of a personal attack, and it was more of a emotion based comment than anything factual. Because if everything based on just the missed field goal, the fact that we got Bates alone kind of proves his point. Completely null, void, mute. You know what I mean? We're up. You know, if that field goal was the biggest problem with the kicker we got now, I guess we're winning the Super Bowl. You know,
I mean, biggest problem wasn't even that. Like I said, I've argued this to nauseum, and I'm sick of it. The Lions are not having this conversation about you going for it on too many fourth down. If you just catch the damn ball that was literally in your hands.
Exactly. There's so many things.
Don't fumble the ball when you get the ball back after you give up a score. How about that? I mean,
right.
This is come on. Looney Tunes says, from a scale of 1 to 10, how much does Chicago scare you, Luke? 9. That mobile quarterback with Justin Fields was destroying the hell out of us. We beat them one game, lost one game, and they didn't have nowhere near the running back that they have now. They didn't have the receiver that they have now. I'm a big believer in Austin Booker that was drafted out of Kansas. Yeah, they scare me. They are our biggest threat.
So you honestly think that they'll probably sweep us?
I don't think that they're going to sweep us. I'm saying that they're our biggest threat. They're more of a threat than Green Bay.
I'd say that's a possibility they could sweep us, though. It's not. I can't say it's not impossible.
But that mobile quarterback is the problem.
If Justin Fields can kill us, Caleb Williams will. I would say Caleb Williams is coming in like the best situation of any first overall quarterback ever. You compare this like when Bryce Young came into the Carolina. Oh, it's night and day. That team's almost pretty much built, other than they haven't played together and gelled.
Right. And that's the whole component I'm trying to lean on, because everything looked good in preseason when you're playing, people that are about to be cut. Yeah, you're the fucking Super Bowl champions of the preseason. So were the 0-16 Lions. They were undefeated in the preseason. You know what I mean? That didn't mean shit. Don't let the preseason really cook up a narrative that really at the end of the season, man, and when everything is in hindsight, you're going to be laughing at this episode of Luke G's Field Review, bro. That's all I'm saying. Just give it a minute, man. This guy might get hurt. He might get really shook by getting hit by a top, a top tier defensive end. And he might just not want no part of the league. You know what I mean? Like, all he got to play was a whole bunch of backups, third stringers. You know what I mean? Like, not even a real defensive end has hit him yet.
No, I'm with you. And again, these are just things that I had to bring up. I had notes on them. I saved this last little part for last because, again, like I said, I have taken up the mantle because the slander of Hendon Hooker has been ridiculous. And
look, my God, that's my guy, bro. I was already smiling as soon as you said his name, dog.
Listen, Hendon Hooker slander. Let me just tell you some of the things that I read. Okay, and I went to practices. And saw him, throwing interceptions and doing these things and stuff. But I also saw him doing that with third string receivers, third string offensive line, third string this, third string that. Like, I ain't trying to be funny. They was doing some stuff, and every now and then they put him in there with the twos, right? But still, this you're not giving him the best of the best like you giving the ones, okay?
Right.
And I wanted to see that now. Some of the narratives
were the interceptions as well. Were they like really bad? I mean, there's levels out there.
I saw some really bad interceptions, but I also saw some where a defender made a good play on the ball and the receiver didn't probably fight enough for the ball. So I've seen.
Look, you got to take in consideration too, though, man. Listen, you got to listen to some of the greats. Like, man, listen to Tom Brady. He said that they wouldn't even give him no goddamn kind of reps. You know what I mean? And the 2 reps that he would get, he would maximize out of them. You know what I mean?
I enjoyed that, though. I enjoyed that we didn't play none of our starters because I don't believe that we need to have them play a game. Because either way it go, guess what?
I agree with you.
They're gonna still be sitting out for a damn week. And if people go, well, they're gonna be out for 2 weeks. No, they practice hard. I've witnessed it. They practice hard. But my issue was the false narratives on Hendon Hooker. This was one of my favorite. Hooker is a one read and run guy. To the person who wrote that article, I'm praying for you because I find it absurd that you think he's a one read and run guy when I'm watching this dude go through progression.
I literally watched him go through all his reads
and then throw the ball. Like I saw it.
Yeah.
This is just a false narrative that's not true. Hooker needs to slide more. This one right here, I really actually consider it as being a possibility until I went through and saw Hooker slide and still get the crap knocked out of him and no flag be thrown. Until I saw Hooker try to slide one time and got tackled in an attempt to slide. And the majority of the runs that he had, I said to myself, nope, he was right to be the enforcer to protect himself versus taking an unnecessary hit. He was right to run out of bounds. And I just ask people to look at it a little differently. This is the false narrative that he needs to slide more. Look at the down the distance on some of them slides y'all asking him to do. It was 3rd and 7. If he slides before the first, what's the point? Everybody be talking about he was unaware of where the first down was if he did that. So, these are things that we have to look at and put in perspective. Another narrative that came out through our own media, some of our YouTubers. Hooker is a better runner than passer. Where did this crap come from? Because guess what? Go shout out to all 22 Films coach in there. Right?
Shoot, I think the 3rd game broke that narrative.
Listen. On the all 22s coach film, I'm telling you, he showed it. People was not open. You can't throw the ball to non-open people.
I'd say that's good decision making then right there and then.
100%. Now I don't know what happened to Rage. Rage, if you can hear me, let me know or put a hand up or something or respond, but I don't think Rage can hear us. No, he can't hear us. All right. I'm gonna give him a minute and let him know I can't hear him. So
just let him reload StreamYard. That's what I did to get right back in.
Yeah, he might have to reload it. And I don't know how to send a message behind the scenes. I don't know how to do it.
What? You don't see the little chat bar on the right-hand side there? It just says there's private chat.
Oh, you know what? It is. I see it. There you go. Oh, he
okay,
left
perfect,
out. There you go. All right, never mind. I missed him. All right.
Awesome.
So, again, I'm just pointing these little things out. That these are all false narratives. These are not truths that you should be subscribing to. Okay. These are not things that you should be indulging yourself in. Now, again, if you want to join the show, the link is on the video that you're watching right now. Go into the chat. You'll see it pinned at the top. All you need is your phone. That's it. Put your name in there and join the conversation. Okay? That's all you need. All right. Another thing that I wanted to point out as it pertains to, the Detroit Lions in this season and basically being at the starting point. the Lions have made a conscious decision not only to not play as starters, but to make the practices that they had in joint practice the game for the starters. So before somebody get to talking about how people are rusty and cold, remember they were doing joint practices with teams and getting their work put in with them. Okay.
Did we do this last season too? We didn't start our starters, and they complained about it last time.
Every year, bro. And every year I got to go in and bring some objectivity to it because it's ridiculous. Okay, it's absolutely ridiculous. And if you in the chat, leave any questions you have, put them in there. I'm answering those as we go. Lester White says different types of mobile quarterback field runs to score. Caleb runs around a lot. If college is a gauge, Williams puts the ball on harm's way with his creativity. That's fair.
Is that like Carson Wentz when he plays hero ball?
Right, but it's just one of the things where it's like I get what they're saying, and I feel like that's a fair assessment, right? The difference is he's still mobile. And if he needs to run, he has shown me that he has the ability to think and run. Hell, our quarterback has shown us that he has the ability to think and run. And so I'm just saying, we have to look at those things and say, you know what? Are we succeeding and stopping that weapon from the teams in the division? With McCarthy being out, you don't got to worry about them having no mobile quarterback. Sam Darnold ain't running crap, okay? But Jordan Love can run, right? Yep. And Caleb Williams can run. And so those are things that concern me.
Yeah. I pray to God our O-line stays healthy because I was not impressed with our backups at all, man. And there's one thing I don't trust Goff to do. It's be mobile.
And he's not asked to be. With that offensive line, he's not asked to be. Would it be nice to have that? Sure, but we're not. Hatter House says, what up, though, from Southern Cal. Go Lions. Whose house? Lions house, baby. Let's go. Jay Third says, Lions know what they have in Hooker. That's why he's the new backup. Yeah, but the media was so disrespectful to him. I'm telling you, go out there and look it up. People was talking about he didn't do enough to earn his spot, and that was as recent as the last damn game. There were people who was literally saying that he didn't do enough to earn his spot in the media.
Shoot, how much praise
forever, right?
And
I literally posted a video as soon as I seen that guy hit stick somebody like Matt Stafford did back in the day. Remember when we was all going crazy about that Matt Stafford hit stick? I forget who you put it on. But, man, that was the nicest quarterback hit stick since that one. And I think it was the Titans he did that to. I said, damn, man, that was amazing. And I literally had to talk about it. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. To be honest with you, Studfield, man, I found it so much easier to criticize him than anything because Hendon Hooker was the only bright spot I found in the quarterback position in the preseason. He literally made the Lions game enjoyable to watch, literally enjoyable to watch. So these guys, they're just so hell-bent on trying to push this narrative that the Lions are trying to make some mistakes for some reason, some way, shape, or another. I don't know what their ultimate goal is, but I mean, we all kind of see through it. We've been seeing through it for some years that, Detroit sports media is absolutely terrible. They don't give the team a fair shake. And honestly, any kind of national media doesn't give Detroit teams a fair shake. At least the Lions,
BD Buster asks, do you think the new kickoff rule is why they capped so many linebackers and safety? Honestly,
so
no.
Ugly. I hate that rule.
No, you know what? And in fact, I think the reason they did it is because of the amount of times that they play that 4-2-5, right?
This is true.
And so you need those extra DBs, and I can see why. Because think about it, right? If I bring in Iffy, I got in Kirby, and I got I don't know. Let's say I put Branch at the outside linebacker. I got Terry on to the other corner. I got Davis at one corner. And then I decided to do a hybrid linebacker where I can now bring in, say, Strickland or I don't know who you want, Brandon Joe. I can do that. I got options. I think the new kickoff rule is just something that they have explored, and I saw them in the practices that I went to really explore it. I saw J-Mo taking kicks. I saw Gibbs taking kicks. I saw what is his damn name?
Alexander?
No. The new rookie from Illinois, Williams. Isaiah. I saw him doing.
Isaiah Williams.
So they were giving everybody a shot in practice at these kicks, but it was the thing they were doing in the practice that I don't even want to say, just in case somebody out there scouting, that was very creative. And I went, oh my God, that was so work. So no, I don't think it's because of the new kicker rule that they did this. I think we needed the linebacker depth. I think we needed the DB depth, and just like we needed the receiver depth. But I would have so much rather not had Strickland and Cap Isaac, Canuck, or how you pronounce his name.
I think.
I'm not. I listen. Yeah. You know I'm not finna botch nobody's name unless I'm finna botch their name. I mean, we had a player called Wild. I said, what the hell is that?
God forbid you become a hockey fan.
Listen, don't listen. And that was my dad's sport. You know, his favorite sport was hockey. You know,
man, I'm gonna send you a bunch of hockey names just so you can.
I'm not gonna play with it. No, you're not gonna embarrass me today. You're not gonna embarrass me. Easy Does It says stadium is going to be rocking. I don't think it's going to be as close as everyone thinks. Me neither. And this brings me to another point where when you look at the NFL video breaking down the game and the winners and the losers, and I made a post about this in the community, and I think I said something like, I hope those two LA believers are ready to be wrong, which was Maurice Jones, Drew, and Gordon. But all of them had close scores: 26-3, 24-3, 24-3, 24-20, 23-20, 24-23, 34-30. And I'm thinking to myself, what? I said, listen, just go back and listen to the Matthew Stafford and McVay interview. They said that they went to a Super Bowl and it was louder at Ford Field than the Super Bowl. If you don't believe that the stadium is going to cause a problem for a lot of teams, look no further than the preseason. Since when do you ever heard of a team in preseason stadium causing other teams to false start? Like, bro, it's finna be a whole different atmosphere here. And anybody who comes and play us with every win is going to have to just basically learn to play without talking to each other. They might as well go ahead and learn sign language right now, because I'm telling you right now, they already proved that they're ready and revved up to go act the fool. So I agree with you. Giovanni Lyon says Detroit is going to lose to the Rams. Matthew Stafford has great rapport, and Detroit defense will be playing together for the first time.
I mean, we beat them before. I mean,
listen, I'm just going to throw this out there. Luke, if you look on my channel, one of the latest videos I posted was when we beat the Rams in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, bro, it was a glorious day for me. You hear me? I cried. Like, I promise you, man, that will not happen. Like, we are not going to lose to the Rams. Like, no, we already,
I don't need. I feel like the fact that that is Matthew Stafford, okay, the fact that it's opening day, and we are expected to win the Super Bowl according to Sports Illustrated. Shout out to them. Yeah, I don't see us losing to the Rams. I don't.
Yeah, I don't see us. Yeah, I don't see us at all losing to the Rams. Honestly, if we don't make it to the NFC Championship game, it is a failure of a season. Like, honestly, I don't see us losing an extra game that we did last year. I don't care if our schedule got tougher. We literally improved. The fact that we got a kicker that can kick now just proves my statement. You know what I mean? Unlike the guy that was speaking out of his ass, talking about Green Bay getting better, and then he just sees us just making a bad call, you know, and not being able to kick. So, you know, like, I know, honestly, like, it's really ridiculous how these guys talk about us. Honestly, the way I see it, the way we're set up, the way we're built, we can't take a step back. The way we're built, we shouldn't be able to take a step back. I mean, anything less than going forward, it should be seen as a failure of a season.
I agree. And I feel like the NFC Championship has to be the benchmark. It just has to be.
Yep.
And shout out to Kobe. He says, "Can we get the blackouts for that game, please?" I don't know what they announced for our jerseys yet, but I do want to see them black jerseys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for real.
Blackouts day one.
For real.
I want to see that so bad. Like, set the tone right now. They should even come out to the Gravediggers music, in my opinion. Like, let's go ahead and throw up. That fan man said, "Just want to be sure we're all on the same page. We're still booing Stafford kids, right?"
Man, listen, we're
Don't do
gonna
that.
boo.
Kelly Stafford will say they're booing our kids.
We're gonna boo them all, man. I'm telling you, hey, it was good having you here. You know, Luke, I was the #1 fan for the longest time. I used to advocate for that man like nobody's business. But when it came to winning and losing and having to pick sides, man, listen, I was wearing a Lions jersey, not a Stafford jersey. You hear me?
Absolutely. Bro, listen, I played football with a guy in high school, right? I went to the college I went to. He went to a different college. We ended up going against each other. Do I still talk to him to this day? Sure do. Do I still love him? Sure do. But guess what? When that game came on, I tried to knock his life out. I was trying to take everything out of him. Everything out of him. You know what I'm saying? He played running back and I played linebacker. And in practice, I can't tell you how many times he made me look foolish and how many times I was able to hit him. So I'm just saying. Let me get a few more questions really quick. Hold on. Because I gotta help
real quick, but I got a madhouse going on, and I gotta take these little booger bunches, man, to the park.
Listen, go be the greatest dad that I ever met, man. You know you are one of those people that has always stood the test of time. So I know what it is. Trust me. But go be great, brother.
I appreciate you. You guys, I want to thank you for allowing me to be on the channel, for listening to my nonsense, and at least listening to me when I make a little bit of sense. If you guys can, please show me a little bit of support. Go on my channel. Just, give me a like, man. I don't ask you to do for much. Just like my channel. Just let me get to the point where I can go live and I can actually join y'all and giving you some decent content. All right? I love y'all.
And that's Detroit
talk to y'all,
people.
And be good, man. Lions, let's go.
Let's go. And again, man, shout out to him, man. That's a good brother right there. All right.
Yeah,
Biddy Butter says, "Did you look at the injury report for the Rams? Stafford gonna be running for his life. Man, we got too much time for people to heal. I remember the injury report for the Lions when Sam Laporta got hurt, and he was out there that next game with a leg brace doing the damn thing. So injury reports don't mean nothing to me until I hear the following words: out. As long as they out, they out. But the Rams with no Aaron Donald is no problem. That's how I view it.
Shoot. Remember the first time we played Stafford when he was a Ram? We almost beat him even on that team, and that team was terrible. So I'm not scared of the Rams. And they were a lot better. That was a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm rooting for certain things, but I'm not going to be ridiculous about it.
I hope Kirby Joseph comes back to haunt him because he's over there telling him that he was dirty for that one hit that took out their tight end. Hey, nothing in the rule book. What do you want him to do? I ain't mad at it. People keep telling me Kirby Joseph's dirty, and I'm like, I got a Giants fan that keeps telling me that Kirby Joseph is the most dirty player in the NFL. I'm like, what crack are you smoking? He's not even the dirtiest player in Lions history.
Justin Fields said Kirby Joseph, and he said Ellis Anzalone is dirty, and Amon-Ra wasn't having it. He was like, that's not true. No, they're not.
Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh in their prime. Oh my God, he'd make them blush. Dirty.
First of all, listen, this is going to be unpopular opinion. I didn't think Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh was dirty at all. See, this is the problem with people. We fall in love with the choir boys, and we get excited with the bad boys. But we only get excited with the bad boys when we feel like it's not bothering our team. I was a huge fan of Vontaze Butterfield. I thought it was amazing when he broke jaw when he hit him. And I thought it was amazing when he got cracked back by Juju Smith. And I thought that was still good. It's part of the game. You want a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Terrell Suggs used to come out with a Bane mask on, okay? Ray Lewis came out with this dance and would hit you so hard that your kids felt it. Like, We need bad guys. And I'm not looking for people, to do anything different, but I like our bad guys. I wish we had a bad guy now.
I mean, Bountygate, for God's sakes. We're talking dirty. We go back to Bountygate.
Oh, starting left tackle is suspended and no AD. Yeah, but guess what's going to happen? They're going to just rotate the tight end to that side to help out. So that means that our Robin the Batman got to show up.
Yeah, Hutch has got a history of being shut down by tight ends.
It's just one of them things. Yeah, but the Rams now got Jonah Jackson starting at center. Let's go. Did they really put him at center?
Wait, can he play center? I don't think
he played center for us. But I'm just saying, did they really put him at center? Now I got to go and look. Damn it. Man, you did it to me. Let me go look. Let me go look at the depth chart. Because you just, what? There's no way they did this.
How beaten up is their O-line? Jesus. I'm hoping guys like Mekhi Wingo show
They
up.
really got him at center. What the?
Holy shit.
Hey, listen.
If he can do it.
He can do it. I don't have a problem with that. He can do it. But damn. That's that I did not see that one coming. No. I didn't know he was playing center. I thought he was going to be the other guard opposite of that dude from TCU. What's his name? Avila?
Who's their main center? Or was he supposed to be the main center?
I was. That's what I got. I got nothing. So it is what it is. Shout out to Lance Malone. He says no love for Stafford here. No, we have love for Stafford. When Stafford retires, and I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, I have whole video. I started my whole YouTube career defending Stafford. When Stafford retired, even though he won a Super Bowl with the Rams, Stafford will go down in the history as a Lion for me. He retires and go in the Hall of Fame, he would be a Hall of Fame quarterback of the Lions.
Yes.
And that's just the truth. He has not, like, you look at what he did with the Rams. That's great. They won a Super Bowl as a team. That's awesome. All the hard work, the grunt work, what built him, what made him was here. And so to me, he's going to forever be my quarterback. But week one, I hope they knock him out the game. I'm just being honest with you. Sorry.
I mean, to quote somebody from NASCAR, it's like, look, I ain't saying I won't go fishing with the man, but if he comes up on me, I'm putting his ass on the wall.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, that's what I look at. They not ready for us week one, not in our house. Prime time, we don't lose. And listen, people, I went to 4 games last year. 2 of the games were later. No, 3 of them were later in the year. It was so loud that I literally at halftime went and took toilet paper, wet it, and stuck it in my ears.
Dude, I got tinnitus. I imagine that set my tinnitus off like.
It was so loud on one of the plays that I looked at my skin and it was vibrating. Like it was like you ever see that old commercial with a guy sitting in the chair and the speakers come on?
Yeah.
It was that loud. You hear me? It was that loud. I do not think for one moment we're losing to them. Speaking of which, because I gotta help my babies with their homework.
Priorities.
Parenthood is real around here, people.
2 teams I want to beat. I want to beat Seattle because I'm so effing sick and tired of Pete Carroll owning us. He's owned us for years. And the Titans. That's another monkey off our back we need.
Well, Pete Carroll ain't there no more.
I thought Pete Carroll was still there.
Pete Carroll retired. I'm a Lions fan, but this is now listen, this is gonna blow a lot of people's mind when I say this, especially Lance. Lance ain't gonna like this. I'm not only a Lions fan, I'm a Bucks and Seahawks fan. I have explained this story to nauseum. Okay. I like these 3 teams. I have liked them since I was a child. My family team is the Steelers. I am literally the outcast of the entire family. They think there is something really wrong with me because I refuse to be a Steeler fan. It just is what it is.
It tells me you're more informed.
Pete Carroll is gone. McDonald, the defensive coordinator from the Ravens, is now the head coach, right? And I thought he was going to make the smart decision and put Sam Howell as the starting quarterback, but he went with Geno Smith. So, yeah, I expect us to beat them too. So, it is what it is. Their left tackle is suspended. Pretty sure I heard Jeremy from the pod say it today. All right, good. Shame on him with his dumb stuff. If he's suspended, he's suspended. Let me see. Let me see. Make sure I put that. Yes, they put him at center. I swear I did not know that.
That's insane to me. I was like,
that is absolutely like mind-boggling to me.
Is
like,
their center
why?
hurt, or is this the plan? I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I got nothing. When I tell you, I genuinely am like stumped. Like, why center? I would much rather him be the guard. You know what? I don't even give a shit. They can put him on the bench for all I care. As long as we come out with a win, I don't care.
True.
I don't.
True.
I want the win.
I care about wins, and more wins, because this division, I think, is going to be pretty tight. Other than the Vikings, I'm not sleeping on the Bears, and the Packers will be good. I mean, I was hoping Jordan Love would be the dud, but no, unfortunately, I can't have nice things, and the Packers got to have every quarterback under the sun.
Right. You just, like I said, look, he looking at me. All right, so I'm coming. All right. But again, it's one of the things. It's one of the things where, it's one of the things where I feel that this is an easy win for us. Like I can write this one in freaking like ink. I do not believe that we're losing that game. They just don't have enough. They have not done enough. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I'm not seeing enough that lends itself to have me say, you know what? We don't stand a chance. I don't see that. I wish that I saw it. I wish that I understood it, but I don't see that. Let me get into the final thoughts, man. Please, Crimson, give your final thoughts. And if anybody else want to jump in, I do apologize. I apologize. I got to help with this homework. I hate that school is back at this point, but my priorities is going to forever and always be husband, father, not in that necessary order, but number one. So I got to help him with his homework. So I like this channel, man. Thanks. Listen, anytime, Lance, believe it or not, you even being a 49er fan can come on and talk ball. In fact, I hope you hang around, because when that time comes, I'm going to literally have you come on and you're going to be the one to argue and represent your team. Talk to me about your team and represent them, because I like hearing different perspectives. I like hearing the other person's view so I can understand where things are coming from. And that's just the reality of it. But again, I appreciate that so much. Let me go ahead into my final thoughts. Crimson, brother, you have been rocking me for a while. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Hey, listen. So I'll get into my final thoughts. Everybody knows that every show starts off with a positive message, and every show ends with a positive message. And today is no difference. Okay. This quote, I'm not sure who said it, but it says, excuse me. It says, someone once said, if you get on the wrong train, be sure to get off at the first stop. The longer you stay on, the more expensive the return trip is going to be to go home. When I first saw this, I thought to myself, man, how do I verbiage this to people in a way for them to pick it up? You get on the wrong train, get off at the first stop, because the longer you on the wrong train, it's going to result in your expenses being higher to get home. And then it got me to thinking about home, because home is within you. You are the home. And some of you are investing your time in family, friends, and significant others who are doing nothing further than taking you on a long ride for unnecessary reasons unbeknownst to you. And I'm asking you to remove that negative energy and get off on the first stop. Every time you look up, if somebody's sitting up there saying one thing but doing another, and their actions are not meeting the standard of what they're doing, I'm going to tell you that, guess what? You're probably on a train ride that's going to cost you more if you had to just got off on the first stop. There's somebody right now that who ain't no good for you, that who is not meant for you. Every time you do something, they got to tell you something negative or bring you down. That's because you're on the wrong train with the wrong people. That's because you're hanging around people who can't see your greatness unless theirs is being lifted up with you. See, you need to find you some friends who hype you up when they not winning. You need to find you some family members who love you unconditionally and not based on conditions that you come up with, they must be a part of. Some of y'all just missing it. Some of y'all just not grabbing it. The train ride only cost you more because you were unwilling to get off of the ride. You was unwilling to let those people go who did nothing but took from you. You was unwilling to set those people aside when they were saying, hey, I'm going to get off. And then they got off and you were feeling like, oh man, it's all bad. And they came back and talked their way on to the train again and you let them. It's okay. We make those mistakes, but it's the time now for you to tell those people, I'm getting off at this stop. I don't care how much further you go down there. I don't care if you get off with me. But when you get off with me, understand that there's a standard here. That if you don't meet that standard, I'll put you back on that train. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you to do one thing and one thing only. Make sure that those people who are willing to travel with you, you keep them close. And the ones who are traveling with you for their own benefit, you get off on the train on them and you tell them nothing. You wave at them as that train goes away and thank the God Almighty above that you no longer have to deal with them. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. And if you don't do nothing else, don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'm out. I will be here tomorrow with the Pick'em League so we can see who can really pick these games right. And some more Detroit Lions news.